What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge live show on this Thursday night. Appreciate everybody joining. Hope everybody's doing good today, this Thursday. Man, a lot different a week makes as far as weather-wise. It's been a great week weather-wise here.
Beautiful.
Great. Have to just get this out there right away. Well, Michael says, let's get to 100 likes. Get this out there right away. National Sibling Day, Germ. National Sibling Day. Glad you're my bro. There you go. Get it out of the way out the first.
Wow.
I mean, got to throw it out.
That's how we're starting this?
That's how we're starting it, man.
Fresh cut, G?
Fresh cut, man. You like it?
Wow. That's a skin fade.
Oh, yeah. It's hot outside, man.
Skin fade. Wow.
Mike. Welcome, Mike. Garber, Oklahoma. Let's go, Mike. Thanks for joining. Yeah,
I mean, I think there was truth yesterday people were talking about.
What's up, KB? What's up, Clark? What's up, Chester? Michael, Monty. We can go down the list. There's a bunch of you in there already. Should be a good night.
Hey, besides National Sibling
Day,
besides National Sibling Day, who cares about National Sibling Day when you get a comment like this? Famone says that doctor says right now, cancer-free. Goes tomorrow to see what kind of treatment is needed. First off, praise God. Praise God. Second of all, still praying that tomorrow, the treatment that they give you is exactly what you need, man. That's great news. Great news. Praise the Lord.
That is great news, Famone. And then I also see, look at Chuck, man. Just got back from Monkey Island. Isn't that in Grove? Or am I
That is, Jay. That is. It's I believe it's Grove, yeah.
Yeah, Grove, Oklahoma there, Chuck. Hope you had a good time there.
I've been to Monkey Island, Jay.
I've been to Grove quite a bit. But yeah. What's on your mind 2 days away from the Crimson Combine?
Not much, Jay, really. I'm excited for a few things. Again, I see that I don't even know what to say on the wide receiver stuff, Jay, because there just really hasn't been anything out there. Let's just be honest. I could ask you 3 questions right now. You wouldn't be able to answer any of them.
All right, go shoot for them. I'll try them.
I'll start. Well, how long's Giovanni Gibson out?
I think he's probably going to be out a while, Term.
You don't know. A while is too vague.
He's probably going to be out a while.
Jay,
okay? Next one.
Who's the epidemic of wide receiver injuries right now? Go ahead and talk to me.
I guess you'll find out on Saturday.
I'm curious who the epidemic of wide receiver injuries are. Like, who all's in the epidemic? Who has caught the epidemic?
Like I said, I think that's something on Saturday.
I'm asking you, Jay.
I'm not at practice, Jerem. I can't tell you.
Okay, I mean, here's the question. I don't think it has to do with either. I'm sorry, I just don't.
I don't know what it has to do with, to be honest. I can't.
I don't think it has to do with either. Hey, Grey God, maybe Grey God knows, because Grey God knows a lot, Jay. Probably more than I do, I'm sure. Who's involved in the wide receiver injuries right now? Like, who would you say is just out?
I don't know. Like I said, I think there's a lot of guys banged up right now, and I'm with Greg on like figuring out what's causing all these injuries. I mean, what is it? I'm kind of like there too. Monty, definitely be saying a prayer for you tonight with the dermatologist and everything.
Nothing surprises God, Jay. Nothing surprises God. He knows what's going on. God knows, and we'll pray for that. Jay.
Let me say one thing about the injuries, okay? I'm frustrated that the wide receiver room sounds like there's a lot of guys banged up again. Jeremy, will you stop? Let me just finish talking here. I'm frustrated. It sounds like there's a lot of guys banged up. Now, to the extent of that, I don't know. All I'm sitting here banking on whatever April 10th is that by July, August, a lot of these guys are ready to go full speed. So that's, I mean, I don't know the reasoning. I don't know. there's something going on if there's that many guys banged up. Sorry, there's an issue. Jerm, there is. Okay. What are you looking at? I mean,
because Jay, I get that maybe there's the implication is there's an issue, but again, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Daniel said he's got some info on the injuries, Jay.
Yeah, Daniel said he was going somewhere. I think a lot of them might just be banged up. I mean, I don't know.
Then it's no news.
Jeremy,
come on.
Jeez.
The Giovanni Gibson seems to be news. Outside of that, what is it?
It is football. There's going to be guys banged up. That's right.
What about just playing flag football? Is that what people want?
Yeah, but Greg, this is also, you're watching practice videos, and this is, I mean, you're watching practice videos and you're worried about a guy getting hurt. They're not going to post a video of a guy
He's saying because of the field. He's talking about the field. So you're saying that a field issue? A field issue?
That's
what I think. That's what he's saying.
I mean, it could be many things. I don't know, Jerm. Daniel's going to call in here a minute to tell what he's heard. So
maybe we open the phone lines early.
Open them up early. Open them up. That's fine.
I'm just going to say my take. Look, I don't know anything. I know nothing about any of it, Jay. But I'm going to say this. I think there's some things being blown out of proportion. Like I think injuries. Yes, injuries, but severity of injuries. Like I think if there was a game a month from now, they'd all be ready to go. Maybe outside of Giovanni Gibson.
Now, and then we'll get to Daniel, but Marcus St. Parker mentioned today that Bridges is out of eligibility. Huh?
Shouldn't be.
Hey, let's get to Daniel. Daniel is on the line. Got some
tea time. Tea time with Daniel right now.
Tea time with Daniel. What's up?
Okay, so I was at an event tonight. So first with the injuries. So what I did hear, and this, will, I guess, some of people's concerns, it will confirm it. They actually do work out more than what we did in terms of strength conditioning. They really don't get any time off. And the medical staff, there's a lot of players that go and get rehab and different things from physical therapists in Edmond and Oklahoma City and so on and so forth. So there's that. And then the one positive I did hear is that no one still is saying it, but Giovanni, it seems like it's a clean break and there's no ligament or anything like that. So if it is a break, it's not something that's going to hold. He might more than likely will return some part during the season, is what I was told by people that are actually on staff right now. Another thing, you could chime in there.
Hey, real quick, I was going to say a question. Finish what you were going to say, because I got a question. Finish what you were saying, though.
So that, kind of on the injuries part, they are looking at some of the receivers that people have mentioned. Like that is confirmed. And I'm like, this isn't me. Like these are words that I've heard. Other information I hold or was told by Coach Gundy, who was there. Coach Gundy actually he's been to some of the running back meetings. He's actually talked with DeMarco and tried to tell him how to handle things, and he's not really understanding what DeMarco's doing. So he told DeMarco, one, there's too many running backs in the room. He said, two, that you're not giving them a rhythm. Like there is too much inconsistency. So he's not really understanding why. He said that was the reason Hicks left. He said that he should have been there. He should still be here, but there's just too many guys and they have the talent, but there's just too much inconsistency. So Gundy said he's actually been in the meetings with them and has coached them up, told them what to do, but he doesn't think that DeMarco is taking some of that information back. So there's that. And then what else was I was told that some of the recruitment, Joe C did tell me he has nothing really to do with compliance. So I did flat out ask him that. So I told you I was going to ask some people some information that people say, and like I said, with the injuries too as well. I asked like, what is going on with that? And one of the GAs on the team who's there, I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to put him out like that, but he's not sure too. He thinks it's the workout regimen. So, the people who are saying it Smitty has something to do with it. They're a bit validated tonight. So I can give them that.
What about? Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
Well, my question, because when you brought up guys going, to Edmond or wherever to see other doctor or whatever treatment or whatever, we heard that from Nick Anderson, and I guess my thing is, if players are doing that, why do you still have the same medical staff?
I asked that same because I saw Scott Anderson. I asked Scott, I was like, Scott, what's going on? And he told me, he's like, I'm unsure, but he said he thinks that they're diagnosing in a way that makes that is not making the injuries sound more severe, in a way to not put the players in a bad place, which that's a double whammy in a bad way, because one, in you're lying to them, and in the long run, by you lying, you're going to make the injury worse. So there's just some all around bad stuff. Coach Gundy also told me he doesn't know if Coach V is directing DeMarco in terms of how to handle the running backs, but he's just unsure what's going on. So Gundy's seeing the issues. He said that there's issues in the running back room, in production, in not being able to establish the guy and who is directing how to handle that room. So it's just, there's all around a lot of confusion. I mean, there's more positives than there's good, but the stuff that everybody talks in here and that y'all brought up and mentioned, that's some of the stuff specifically that I wanted to ask about. And that's some of the information. I'm trying to make sure I'm not leaving anything out, but that's some of the stuff that I was able to get.
What's the relationship between DeMarco and Kel? Like how? I mean, obviously, if Kel feels comfortable to say that, I'm just curious. That dynamic, the relationship between the two.
They seem good. He said that we have a great relationship. He just says he's trying to, kind of what I mentioned. He was telling him, don't coach in a way that you're seeing it through your eyes, but coach what you see from your players. Don't think about how talented DeMarco was and go it that way, but see what you have and build a foundation. That's what he was saying. He just was confused too, but like he said, he's just there's too much dysfunction. There isn't a structure, and he feels like DeMarco sometimes is being told things that are detrimental to the backfield, and why we're not seeing that elevation of that specific position. So, and then another thing I did here, I talked to Coach B, and it's more than likely Foje and Fasusi may start game one. That's what he told me. He said they remind him of, they're a more polished Orlando. They have the same work ethic, but they're a lot more polished than Zeus was. That's what he told me.
Wow, that's
actually, I called Jay and Hunter last night after the live, and I was watching something on Michael Fasusi again. It was actually his presser after practice, and I said, guys, I just don't see how Fasusi can't start. Just listening to him and things you see on him. So, I mean, I like that. Now, about the Schmitty stuff, here's one thing I would say, and I'm curious on Daniel's take too, because so confirm that the workouts are more difficult or they're working them harder. But that would be across the board. That wouldn't just be receivers.
Yeah. That's not just receivers. So, we would get like a week off before 2 days. We would get most of May off, stuff like that. At least what I was told, they get a little bit of May off, but they all summer they're going. They don't get that break before 2 days. They don't really get that break around Christmas time, right? Kind of in the boat. So it sounds like there is some overexertion. I you know I just what I'm trying to say is I don't know if they're saying that just that's the structure or if they're actually being overworked by the specific workout. If that makes sense. So I don't know if they're telling me how often they're working out or how intense the workouts are. So I'm taking from it is they're working out more often, but I don't know how intense those workouts are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
and
what and
and it
Smitty was
and
there. So I asked him how these guys are.
yeah, and I can get behind the fact that the workouts are difficult and all that. I just have a hard time, and I still will. And all that stuff is great to hear as far as all that info, man. I like that is great stuff, Daniel. I'm
Yeah.
just still
So
curious
and then
how many of the injuries are stress fractures. Because I mean, like for example, the Giovanni Gibson thing has nothing, zero zilch to do with a Schmitty workout.
no, that doesn't. The ones that do are like the Satanias, the hamstring stuff like that. I think there's that. But just in terms of the recovery, I don't know if because like I say, yeah, Gibson's a freak accident, but all those other nicks and knacks and the little nagging ones, those sound like their recovery. They're not getting one of the biggest things that makes an athlete great is the amount of recovery they get. And I will say, I do speak highly of Smitty. I respect him, but I do say the one criticism a lot of us former players, including myself, have had is oftentimes we don't get enough recovery. That's
Well,
that's the one criticism that all of us have had. So I don't know if it sounds like that may be a thing now, and it may be worse. So there's that. But the one positive is B said Fasusi and Folger might be the best offensive lineman he's ever coached. So there's that.
yeah, and I
So
think if they're that good, they got to play him young. I mean, you got to play him if they're that good.
yeah,
We'll see though. We'll find out. B doesn't really play freshmen. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Because he doesn't like
he
to.
don't. That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. That's some great stuff, Daniel. Hey,
Appreciate it,
it,
Daniel.
man.
Yeah, got you.
Hey,
Thanks.
thanks,
You're
man.
welcome.
He's doing that.
Hey, before we get to KBJ, and that was good stuff. Hey, I'll get to a couple things he said here in a minute, but Jay, I saw Chester said, "Yeah, Germ, but the other 9 do." Chester, go ahead right now and type in the other 9. Look, like
Jerm, why do you care? I don't. You get so worried about things and trying to figure out.
I like to go by things.
Jerm, you don't need to know everything and every player that's injured. I mean, they have.
That's not the point, Jay. The point is, I think a lot of those guys who have a little bit of tightness and things. There's if they played a month from now, they would be playing.
Hey, let's get to a couple callers. We got a couple more callers online. We got KB followed by Chuck. What's up, KB?
What's going on, fellas?
How are you, man?
Hey, man, I'm good. Hey, I wasn't going to say nothing last night because it's kind of a touchy subject about the medical deal, but Daniel said something that I was going to say that Stoyich guy was talking about last night, yesterday, I think. Did y'all, hey, man, I don't know all y'all's got. Did y'all have somebody transfer to Colorado this year or this year, maybe this last spring portal? He said, I'm not going to say no.
I don't remember anyone going to Colorado.
Maybe I'm wrong. He said, I'm not going to mention
that. They had a coach that, well, I mean, a guy that used to play at OU.
No. This was a player because they were saying he got to where he was going to go. Yeah. And he had a shoulder injury.
Did. Okay. Yeah.
He had a shoulder issue. And when he got up there this year to, and this was Stoyich saying this ain't me. So Texas guys are not saying it. But he said he got up there because they were talking about what y'all are talking about. And they said that his shoulder had been either misdiagnosed or not treated properly, and he's having to have it fixed again. And that was from the staff here. When y'all were talking about they were going outside because they didn't I guess. Anyway, evidently when he went up there and thought it was dealt with, I guess he started having problems again. And it was either misdiagnosed or dealt with improperly or something. And they said, we're not going to really get into it, but that's what we're hearing right now.
Well, that's my issue is, and I said this last year when they were going through the stuff with Nick Anderson and him having to, if that's happening, how in the heck are you keeping the same
exactly, Jay?
I don't know,
there's
man.
malpractice being done and no one's doing anything about it, please.
That's an issue up top. I mean, that's a bad thing if that's true, if all this is true. And I'm not saying it's not true. I've heard the same thing from different people, and I'm just it's so hard to believe that if that's true, why are they keeping some of these people? It's crazy.
I thought that was kind of a stretch, but after hearing tonight, I thought, well, I'm going to say something.
I think it is a stretch.
I'm going to say, but after hearing tonight, I thought, well, maybe it's right if that guy left and got up there and now has to have surgery again because they said something was out of whack. I don't know. But
who do you think the medical staff falls under? I've heard people say that's above BV. That's like a joke. But here's my thing: if I'm a head football coach and it's affecting my players, I should have power to no, we're switching things up, right?
Well, even if it's I'm not saying, but even if it's Smitty working them too hard, that's still a thing. That's within BV's power to say, man, come on, we need to get recovery time, or we need 2 days off in between a full one-on-one workout, or what? You know what I'm saying? If that's the issue, somebody should step in and say something.
I don't have a problem going harder in the spring.
No. I'm saying recovery time.
Lighten up in the fall. A nagging injury, a tight hamstring in the spring, not a big deal. To me, the fall is when you're going to have to go lighter.
Well, but even here, they're obviously getting injuries that's keeping them out. Quite a few, like groins, man. Groin injuries, man, they lag if you don't watch out, and that's what I'm saying. If they're telling Daniel they're not getting much recovery time, that just sounds like to me something within BV's power. Now the medical thing, I have no idea. I don't know how that works.
The medical thing, it's been bothering me for almost 6-9 months now, and I don't know I don't know. And the thing is, you hear different people say different thing. And so, but the fact of the matter is there are a lot of injuries. So at wide receiver. So
no, I just thought I'd say something. I thought, well, last night I was thinking, well, there's so much being thrown out there. Who knows? But then after Daniel said something, I thought, well, maybe there's something to that.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, KB. Good stuff, man.
You bet.
Let's get to Chuck. What's going on?
I got some thoughts, but let's get to Chuck first.
What's going on, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. You guys doing all right? How's your dad doing?
He's doing okay. He's hanging. Having some bad sundowning late in the afternoon. So
okay, well, man, prayers for you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I was just listening to that was Ron, right? That was said that he talked to some of the coaches, and then he talked to Gundy as well. Who was that?
That was Daniel Brooks. He played at OU.
Okay.
About 8 years ago.
Well, and believe me, I'm not calling him a liar or nothing like that at all. But it's just really strange that he can have a conversation with people that are close to the program, and even people that are in the program, and he asked them questions, and they were pretty open with him, and they were like, well, I don't know why DeMarco's not, taking the information and applying it. And then also, it's like chaos and people are confused. Do you know how bad that sounds? It
does sound bad, but I think it'd be like this. I think this would be an example because obviously Kel was there when Daniel was there coaching.
Yeah.
And Kel was DeMarco. So it'd be like, a mentor going to someone and saying, "Hey, look, you need to start riding one guy. You don't need to, kind of a mentor way, and then telling one of your, former players." So I think it's a different dynamic.
Well, no, not so much about the conversation. I'm talking about what that looks like.
The look
for the program. That it seems like for me, being just someone that loves the football, OU football, to hear this is like, wait a minute, this seems like there's chaos in the room, that there's things that aren't under control. If people are getting hurt and BV can't say something about it to get things tightened up, even the GM. Okay, we got a GM. And you mean to tell me that this stuff is still going on, like chaos? Like, oh well, no one knows what to do, or we're doing it, but I mean, it just sounds crazy. I mean,
Well, I would think with Nagy on board now, I would think he's going to be evaluating everything. So
well,
I don't know. I don't know how like I said, I don't know how the medical staff is hired. I saw people putting their administration, athletic director, however it is. Are they? I mean, if you're having, here's the thing: if I had a kid who was a big time recruit at wide receiver, I would be questioning.
right? Yes.
I
So would I.
just from what you hear, like, is this? I mean, what's going on? You would want to find all the facts out, you know?
And the last thing, and then I'll get off. I truly agree with what Daniel said about the running back room. You got all these running backs. None of them are developed. There's not and you all know we've been crying about this for the last 2 years, is that there's no rotation. You're not putting somebody in there, letting them get a rhythm. Where is the development? And if Marco, look, let me tell you something. A great running back. I have his picture on my wall. But if he can't develop the running back room, man, we gotta go. We gotta get somebody else.
Yeah, they got to have some development in there for sure. You're right.
It's been an issue. That's been an
Yeah.
issue. That's not a surprise. Yeah.
Well, thanks,
Thanks for
guys.
calling in tonight, Chuck.
Thanks,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Appreciate it. Hey, Jay, I saw Monty's got the results for his testing certification. I'll say this, Oakland guy. I said Monty. I meant Oakland guy. A test doesn't define you either way. So you know how you are in the classroom. So, but hope it goes well. Prayers for peace with that. Hey, Jay, I'm still going to say something, though, and I'm not, again, until I don't even know how I want to say it, Jay. Like, I do know a little bit about recovery because I did coach. I coached track and field and cross country. I know it's different. The less recovery between a workout actually does you good as far as developing physicality, endurance, things like that. If you shrink the recovery time between sets, between repeats of something, it actually is better for you. However, with that being said, you do have to have like a day where you take a break, that kind of recovery. So again, I don't know the workout regime. I do know that it's not just one position. It's not just one position that's doing it. So,
but listen, you're
you can debunk some of that.
You're kidding yourself if you don't think certain position groups it affects them more because of their size and everything and the strength.
What do you mean? Who taught me that? Stiller man. That's common sense.
Hey, let's get to yeah, people are disagreeing with you on that, Jeremy. I didn't even hear half of it, so I don't know. I can't really.
I'll explain it to you again real quick, but hey, let's get to Fit with Fry first.
Let's get to Fit with Fry.
What's up, y'all?
How's it going?
Hey, man, I've been working real early in the morning, so I've been watching the rerun during the day, you know.
Oh, there you go. There you go, man.
But something I have to say is about the receivers, that was just a freak accident. Burks is back out there. The freak accident was he was blocking along the edge and got rolled up on. He ended up in an air cast. The bottom of his leg is broken. That's the truth. Giovanni, he'll be all right. Last year, I'm telling you this from pretty much firsthand experience. I know one of the guys who Nick Anderson was going to in Edmond. Nick Anderson was never in shape. He loved to party. He loved to live in the life of a top OU recruit, top OU receiver. He loved that life. And so did a lot of the receiver rooms, a lot of divas in there. I'm telling you that firsthand experience. 100%. Nick Anderson came in. He was not in shape. That's why he's pulling that hamstring. And it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't have that big of a season at LSU. Now, whenever it comes to receivers and running those routes, think about how much they're running. First off, you run a post route, you come back, have to run a go route, you come back, all that cutting. Do you know how hard that is on your ligaments, on your knees? If you're not in shape, if Nick Anderson and those guys were not in shape and they were coming out there being run like that, of course they're going to get injured. And another thing is what they used to do, they used to run in the mornings as soon as they woke up. They've changed the whole program completely around. They're lifting weights in the mornings, and now they're running in the afternoons before practice, and which is a big thing because when you're running in the morning, a lot more chance for something to happen. Your body's not warmed up. You're burning. You don't have nothing to burn off. You run in the afternoon after you lift weights a lot better. But the truth is that Nick Anderson was not in shape. He comes out there, he's not in shape. You go out there when you're not in shape, what's going to happen? You're going to get injured. You're going to be hurting. You're going to pull your hamstring. Those soft tissue injuries come most of the time from not being in shape. I know that firsthand. I've seen it with a lot of guys.
Listen, I understand on the Nick Anderson. I understand Giovanni Gibson with how his injury happened. But what about all the other injuries at wide receiver?
Well, that's the culture of the room. That was probably the culture of the room. They see Nick Anderson, the leader. He was the leader.
When you have that culture,
when you have that culture, guys sit out with easy injuries. They're like, we've already made it.
Who's that fall on, though? Who's that fall on?
Obviously, probably Emmett. Not setting the culture right, saying, hey, if you guys are going to sit out, you guys need to get off the team. We're not letting you guys sit out with injuries that you can come back from. I'm telling you, from game 5 on, some of those guys could have played 100%. And some of them did. They came back for a couple plays and they realized that Jackson Arnold ain't going to give them the ball. And oh, yeah, this is something I have to mention before I get off here. Did you know, I don't know if you guys knew this, but did you know the amount of time that Jackson Arnold had last year on average was 2.9 seconds? That was like 16th in the FBS. Number 2, did you know that Jackson Arnold last year only made the right read on 21% of his...
He was bad.
21%. He made the right read. That's pro football, the PPR thing, whatever. PFF. 21% of the time. Do you know how that was like last in the whole FBS? If he does, if they say that he's rocking and rolling at Auburn, I just don't see it. The guy can't read a defense. I doubt if he can read a book.
But part of that is also the coach is not preparing you, though.
Well, of course. I mean, yeah, the schemes were bad. The schemes were really bad. But 21% of the time, come on. I don't care if you have the worst coach in the history of the world. If you're a competent quarterback, you ain't going to make the wrong read 21% of the time or 80% of the time. You're going to at least get the ball to a receiver. This dude couldn't even get the ball to a receiver. The difference this year, I don't care who's playing receiver this year. John Mateer knows where to get the ball. He knows how to get it, and he knows exactly what to do when he gets that ball. Jackson Arnold had no clue what to do when he had that ball in his hands. Dude was lost like a ship without a freaking lighthouse. I'm telling you what. And it's the truth. As much as I like the kid, he was a good kid. You didn't see this. You didn't see this in the spring last year. You heard when you heard about OU football last spring, you know what you heard about? Defense dominating Jackson Arnold. Danny, pick 6. Billy Bowen, pick 6. Every single week. Do you hear any of that with John Mateer? All you hear is, God dang, that dude can play. That boy can play. And that's where I don't care.
Everyone's saying that right now.
Listen, if I don't care if you got freaking Raggins out there playing. I don't care who's out there playing. And Raggins is the fastest kid on the team. That's what I heard. I know he's 5 foot nothing and 100 and something pounds, but he's the fastest kid on the team. He gets open deep. And that's something that Jackson Arnold couldn't do last year. But last thing right here. If you have the right quarterback, the receivers, they matter a lot less than if you have the wrong quarterback. And that's the truth there.
I can agree with that statement. I can agree with that, but I don't want Zion Raggins out there.
I know you don't. I just had to say that. He is the fastest kid on the team, though. They said that he is impressively fast. Smoke Satania. I guess we'll see this weekend when they do the combine. Hopefully they have some races or something.
Hey, you're right, though. You're right about the receiver, though, with the quarterback, because don't forget, do you remember, I can't remember if it was Kyler Murray's year, but Lee Morris looked like an all-star.
I know. Lee Morris.
Right? I mean, quarterback and schemed offenses can help the wide receiver group.
Of course, that helps more than being a good receiver. I'm telling you what, if you have the right quarterback, the receivers matter. You know, if you have fast guys, you got big guys, that helps. But if even little, what's the kid's name who played big last year? Jacob
Jordan.
Jacob Jordan. That kid right there. That little the other kid, little slot receiver. I can't remember his name, man. I don't know what's going on with me
Zion
right now.
Kearney.
No, Gavin,
Oh.
or maybe not Gavin.
Gavin Freeman.
Freeman, yeah, Freeman.
2
I've
years
heard good
ago,
things
yeah.
about him. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
These the little Wes Welker types in the slot. You get a couple of those guys. You get a big guy on the outside. You get a competent tight end who can at least block and run a route like they say Will Huggins can. It is. I'm telling you what. It's not going to look anything like it did last year. The defense
I
isn't going to
sure
be
hope
quite.
not. Can't
It's
look
not going to
any
be quite
worse.
as good. The defense isn't going to be quite as good. But what that's going to make up for, it might be a better ranked higher because of the offense's competency. And it's that simple. You guys have an amazing night, and I'm going to go ahead and get off here and let you guys
You
rock
too.
and roll.
Appreciate
thanks,
it. It was
Fitz.
good. Fry.
Appreciate
Love the energy and passion. Hey, Jay,
Good call,
I want
man. Good
to
call.
get to a few things because I haven't said them yet. One, and I'm not harping on this, Jay, but like I remember the Makari Vickers thing someone mentioned earlier. Like someone put it in the chat. Drop the article in the chat where he said that it was misdiagnosed. The other thing I'll say is
I think it was on a podcast or on their podcast, probably.
Whose podcast?
Stoya and them. Sooner Scoop.
Okay. And then the other thing is, Jay, like I said earlier, what are the injuries right now, the receivers? Who's hurt?
Oh my gosh.
Outside of Gibson. And let me clarify a statement I made because, again, people called me out like I don't know what I'm talking about. When hey, there's a whole lot of times I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? Obviously, with the Jackson Arnold crap. But this one I do because I've coached for 20 years. In the sport I coached, and when we're talking solely strength and conditioning, it is better.
Strength and conditioning or conditioning?
Both. It's better when there's less recovery as far as in a repeat type of workout where you're doing something like if I'm going to go out and run a half mile, or I'm going to go out and run 100-meter a dash, or I'm going to go from end zone to end zone and sprint. You are better off if when you get to the end zone, you know your recovery is like 30 seconds, and then you go again, 30, and then you go again. Now, I'm not talking about recovery after a practice.
Well, I think that's what
I'm talking about. I'm talking about a repeat workout.
Germ, I think what people were, I kind of thought that's what you're talking about was no recovery at all. It's kind of sounded like that the first time.
I'm talking about that. You want to shorten recovery in the workouts. You want to shorten the recovery in the workout.
You're saying like in a quick workout. But we're talking about recovery
you're still going to have a day off or something when you're not doing stuff.
Yeah, we're talking about recovery after that, aren't we not?
That's not what everyone's talking about.
I don't know. I don't do the workouts. I don't claim to know anything.
Well, I have, Jay.
Well, I don't. So I'm just telling you I don't. So I don't know. And here's the thing. I just know OU football cannot keep having injuries at wide receivers. That's what I know.
Hey, I know what I said. I said repeat, and I said something else besides repeat.
Does it matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because I don't want someone, Stiller Man, saying that I didn't say that when I absolutely did. Go back and watch it. Rewind your tape.
Fit with pride. Look at this. 6 days of work, 1 day of rest. The Bible already gave us.
And yeah, I would, Ron. I would. Obviously, if I send my son or my son goes to university, I would trust. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Go ahead and put it in chat what I said. I'll think of it in a minute. The other word I used besides repeats.
Hey, this is good. I mean, this has been some. Yeah, I think Stillerman said that's why the whole chat said you were wrong. I don't know
what they're talking about. Then
like I said, I didn't hear half. I tuned half of it out. Didn't hear it, so I can't
know
really.
What I'm talking about in this.
I
even said. Now, if we're talking about a day, you've got to have a day off. You've got to recover on days. But I'm talking about in the middle of the workouts, you should shorten the recovery.
No, you have not missed trivia. We'll get to trivia in a minute. I will say
it's unbelievable, man.
I will say I agree with what Fit with Fry was saying about receivers as far as, quarterback helps it, the scheme helps it. But I said this the other night, and I'm going to still say it. I'm not as concerned about the overall room. It's getting a big physical receiver. If the Gibson guys are out, they don't have a whole lot of size out there.
No,
I mean,
what is
Keontae Lewis's size?
6'1", I think.
See, maybe
close to 6'2". I think he's 6'1".
I mean, they don't have a ton of size out there unless
Trajan Bridges is 6'1".
I get it, but these other guys were bigger than that.
Hey,
what I'm saying.
KB is saying that's what I was saying. I said within the workouts you should not lengthen recovery. Within repeats or during reps, you do not lengthen recovery.
I get that. But I think
that's what I said, Jay. So the people that are saying I didn't say that are wrong, is all I'm saying.
The original thing you said, I think, was a little different than that. And maybe it just came across different.
All right. I'll go find it.
You can find it after the live show, dude. I've never seen anybody that just can't just move on, man. Jeez. Wow. Yeah, we all know that part, Stillerman says. Hey, who knows? I tell you.
Let's Stillerman, drop your email, Stillerman. SoonerSurgePod@gmail.com. Send me an email. I want your email address because I'm going to screenshot later so we can clear this up.
Isn't Stillerman in the Discord or no? I can't remember.
I think he is.
Can't remember if he is or not. But hey, we need to get a trivia. I got to find a trivia. I don't have one on me, so I'm going to have to get one. Unless you got one off the top of your head, Jeremy. Actually, I do got one. I got one. I'm going to throw it out there. I think I know the answer. If not, Hunter can verify. But I've seen a lot of talk on here. And before we get to the question, check out the FanStop. www.thefanstop.com. Code SURGE to get 10% off your first 3 months. Remember, April 20th is coming up. 10 more days. You need to get signed up for the Shirt of the Month Club by then to get the beautiful May shirt. It's a great shirt. So make sure you get signed up before then. Also, they got great looking hats. They got the upside down Longhorn hat. Check them out. thefanstop.com. Here's the trivia. Pretty simple question. You could probably find it pretty quick. What number did Trajan Bridges wear at Oklahoma the first time he came around?
Sooner Freak 29 said Hicks is tearing it up right now, Jay.
That wouldn't surprise me.
You let him walk. I didn't see the quote from the amateur golfer at the Masters. What was it?
I didn't see it, Jerem, so I can't. I believe this is the correct answer, isn't it?
Hey, who's the best? They let the best running back in the nation walk. Who?
Well, Hicks or what?
He's not the best running back in the nation.
I don't know.
What do you mean the best running back in the nation?
It looked like Jackson got it first, so good job, Jackson. Jerm, quit being a baby. All upset acting.
Okay, no. Whatever, Jay. I don't like it when things are misconstrued.
Here's the quote. I'm like, I really need to pee, and I didn't really know where to go. And since Thomas had an issue on the green, I'm like, I'm just going to sneak here on the river. And probably people will not see that much. And then they clap for me. Probably one of the claps I really got today. So he went and peed in the river on the Masters.
Amen corner. He'll be banned from Augusta. Jay,
I got
a question for you, Jay.
Hey, real quick, before you get to it, I got to answer. It was kind of facetiously. I wasn't meaning it as brothers. I just call them the Gibson brothers. I know they're not brothers.
Jay, did you Raise Creek? Jay, did you know you can't say fans at Augusta?
What do you mean?
You can't announcers. Patrons.
Yeah. You know you can't take a cell phone in there too, right?
No, I didn't know that. You can't say back nine. You got to say.
You can't. Amen corner and
no.
Yeah, no phones. It's a different deal. Hey, I want to bring up something. I think it'd be a good topic for the next. We can change subjects, get off this subject, but I would love, and I think it's pretty obvious. I saw somebody on Twitter today talking about this. I think it's great, but I don't even think there's a comparison. They are head and shoulders above everybody else. The top men's program since 2000. You know who it is, right? Men's program, college program, men's since 2000. Who would you say? It's obvious.
in any sport?
Florida's won 2 football titles and 3 basketball titles since 2000. Nobody's close to that. Nobody's even won both. They're the only one to win both. If you look at the revenue-making sports, they are the top program since 2000. Anybody disagree with that?
Probably not.
You can't say Bama because Bama hasn't won anything. I'm talking both sports. I'm not just talking football, okay? It's the Gators, and it's not close.
Turn your head sideways, Jay. Chuck wants to make sure they got you even.
Hey, my guy got me even.
Hey, real quick, the Keontae Lewis.
James the barber, man, he got me even.
Listen, I really like Keontae Lewis. Keontae Lewis hasn't been talked about. Hunter put his size in earlier, bigger than I thought, a little bit taller than I thought. He could be a guy. He could be a guy that can do. A lot of people aren't talking about Keontae Lewis. I think he could be a good guy. I think he could help the team, Jay. I know you mentioned they don't have a Gibson. Now, we'll see if Jaden Gibson is back, when Giovanni Gibson might be projected to return, all those things.
Let me ask this question. If you're Giovanni Gibson and you can come back November, I mean, I get it depends on what OU's record is, probably. I just, on that.
Hey, Jay, I'm asking you, so do you think, would you rather OU just not really do much at all conditioning and strength-wise? Just,
Who said that?
I'm asking you, would you? So that everyone would be
so
healthy?
I want them to do what's best for the players and for the team.
Well, I think working hard and being physical is the best, in my opinion. But
not if it leads to injuries. You got to change some things up.
As you get closer to the season, you could dial some of that back as you get closer.
I think we differ on this injury thing a little bit.
And didn't a lot of people say, well, OU's taking it easier this year? I thought people said Venable said he was going lighter on things.
Hey, this is a great question. Has a player ever come back from major injury in the same year and been a difference maker? I'm trying to think same year. The guy that came back and had a really good year? I mean, do you remember Dominique Whaley?
Yeah, Whaley was good, Jay.
Didn't he have a pretty big injury? Rodney Anderson. Now, it wasn't, I don't think technically it was the same.
I did see someone shared something. Jay, I saw someone shared something with me that Damian Mackey said the receivers should wear blue jerseys.
I don't like blue jerseys.
Now, I did see a little bit of Bill Belichick at their practice. He kept telling him, he goes, we're going live here, but only hit from the front, only hit in the front. Can't hit from behind. You can't hit side. It's just front only hitting.
Now, Roscoe says 0 hit the trifecta since 2000. When did Florida win their baseball championship?
I don't know, Jay.
I thought 2017. So they've done it. Florida's done it. So that's crazy. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. Michael says if it was a fibula at 4 to 6 months, I've never seen a Hallmark, just a person who loves Hallmark be a strength coach. So I don't think Jeremy could do that. It'd be pretty difficult.
I don't want to be a strength coach. I'm more of a conditioning, Jay. I don't have strength regimes. I mean, regiments.
Regimes?
Yeah, regime's a word. REGIME. But I meant regiment.
Well, and Michael, there are teams that go. I don't think it's, to me, it's not really the go hard. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it.
I don't either. Now, again, I think maybe they're going to loosen some of that up as it gets closer to the season, but I don't know. It may not.
Hey, we'll find out. We'll find out on Saturday when you get out there to see who's out there.
Hey, my wife, Devin, my wife ran college cross country at OBU, Oklahoma Baptist University. She was the first woman in the
Hall of Fame, right? She's in the
first woman inducted in the Athletic Hall of Fame at OBU. Okay. She ran 1 year on a stress fracture. You can compete on stress fractures, but the Giovanni and stress fractures are because of overuse and not enough recovery, and you keep pounding on that. That is different than the Giovanni Gibson, who sounds like, according to Daniels, a clean break. and it wasn't a stress fracture injury.
Well,
hey, Steeler man, you know what's funny is the athletes that I've coached in the past didn't have that. Didn't have stress fractures. Weren't injured. We were really, really good about giving recovery after workouts, about watching students and how many mileage they were putting on their body. All those kinds of things. Really good about stretching and foam rolling. And by the way, it is a way different sport, but we're talking about conditioning. Jeez.
What kind of hat is that? Is just a blank brown hat?
Yes.
Just a blank brown hat. You see the quarterback rankings released, or people are saying what the top 20 quarterbacks in the nation? Are you buying or selling? We're going to do a little buying or selling here at the end. Okay, let's just do it. Buying or selling DJ Lagway, best quarterback in the country?
Selling.
Okay. Buying or selling Sellers as a top 5 quarterback?
Top 5?
I'm selling it. I don't think he's a top 5.
Because of their difficult competition, I think he's right there at 5, maybe. Nico. What about Nico, Jay?
I agree with this statement that best quarterback is at LSU, Nussmeier. I would go there. I would agree with that. I think he's there. Let's see.
Yeah, I like Nussmeier a lot. Steeler man, I like him a lot.
Now 918's buying it. He's buying it. Nico top 15. Now, what did you see all the stuff in here about Nico maybe leaving?
Jay, it wouldn't be the first time he's threatened it if he's threatening it.
Well, and I saw some people talking about, yeah, you wait till spring, you can get more money, man.
It's smart. It's a smart business play.
Huge smart business play.
It's a business decision.
At a good age,
decision.
I don't know if it's fake or not, Jackson. I'm just bringing it up as people are talking about it in here. I don't know. I'm just saying it would be a smart business decision to wait to spring portal to do all that stuff. Now, Cade Klubnik, what do you think about Cade Klubnik?
Better than a lot of people think.
You do?
I like him.
Drew Aller? I think he's good. I think Drew Aller's good.
Those big resistance bands, I would be willing to bet OU's got a lot of resistance bands on campus.
Now, Kel says, appreciate you joining us, Kel. Says, Mateer looked the part today. Kearney and Elijah Thomas were not. Hearing a lot of good things.
I do like Kearney, too.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of good things on ET. Hey, if Elijah Thomas, ET, does not have a celebration after scoring a touchdown with a phone home, I mean, what are we doing?
And Jay, with Dion moving with Dion moving some outside and Satania being in the slot, that's still pretty good, I think.
I like Satania. Bigger year, Kobe or Kip? Jerem Dalpos wants to know. I'm going to say Kobe.
I'm going to say Kip.
Yeah, I'm going to say Kip. I'm going to say Kip.
Hey,
Eco.
Looks like I'm going to go to the Crimson Combine with my nephew and brother, but I haven't seen much about it. Like a map would be cool. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly if it's the first time they're doing it, but list of events I have seen, yeah. Hey, Bevo's bodyguard. You know what? Of course OU fans know who these receivers are. I don't expect you to know it, and I don't know why you're even on it. Like, if you're just in there to sit here and say, well, no one knows who these guys are, cool.
Yeah, I don't know why you're, Jeremy, trolling. He's trolling, man.
Oh, I know. I'm just not in the mood tonight.
Texas will know them soon enough.
Yeah.
Man, that hat's crooked, isn't it?
Looks good, Jay.
I don't do the flat bills very good, but, you know.
I like it, Jay. Hey, man, this has been fun. We had some really great calls tonight overall. Just great calls.
Appreciate it. Daniel for calling in. Some great insight.
It was Fry, Chuck. Who else called in?
KB.
Yeah. Great calls across the board tonight. Thanks, everyone. It feels like the weekend, but it's not even Friday yet.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's
so,
true.
Hey, by April 20th, sign up for that Shirt of the Month Club, and you'll get that beauty in May. You also get the welcome shirt as soon as you sign up. Use code SURGE, get 10% off your first 3 months. You guys have a fantastic Friday. It's been fun as always. I love the comments, love the chat. It's what keeps this thing rolling. We'll catch you guys later. Great news for Famone.